Right, so it's the morning of the installation of the sideboard and bench seating that I'm doing for my friend Johan and his wife Susie in Hackney. I got to the workshop about 7:15. It's about 5 to 8 now. Just gonna have a little coffee and just kind of slow down a little bit because I was getting just when I'm putting, I guess I put like time limits on myself to kind of do these things for no real reason. So it's always good to kind of, for me anyway, to just stop for a second, have a little sit down, not just kind of keep going, which is maybe what I've done in the past, where you're just like, right, got to get everything in the car, make sure you got everything, look around the workshop, check you've got your tools. You're getting in the car, you're all hot, you're kind of sitting in traffic, and it's not like a great way to start the day for me. So try to slow down a little bit and I guess try to enjoy it a bit more. So it took about half an hour to load the car up. So that's all of the materials, so all the panels and everything, all the hardware, the drawer runners, the hinges, little plugs, all of my tools. I think I said that. So yeah, track saw, like the rails, like a little workbench. I think I have like a borer kind of folding MFT style workbench that I use, and try and take that all with me, because coming back is an hour each way kind of journey. So it's taking about 45 minutes to get to Johan's house. I've got to grab something on the way from my girlfriend's house, so it should take probably about an hour to get there. Yeah, I know some people start like really early in the morning. Johan has like a daughter, so I'm sure he'll be taking her to school. But yeah, just try to avoid kind of adding any stress to my day as much as possible, because doing the installation, you're obviously kind of being, I guess it's called reactive working, and I don't really enjoy that so much. I like to plan and know what I'm kind of doing. Just checking the microphone was recording then. So yeah, I'm quite a planner in that way, and just turning up and not really knowing what I'm doing is quite stressful. Like watching other kind of YouTubers or other channels do that makes me stressed, even just watching them kind of turning up and not really knowing what they got to do. But obviously they have the skills to do it. But yeah, being reactive isn't something that I really enjoy. So I try to plan things out as much as possible and make it as smooth as possible. Hopefully I should be able to finish it today. But I've got time tomorrow, so I can pop back tomorrow and do any kind of final touches. If anything, that'll be like the smallest little bit, so should be nice and easy. Yeah, so just gonna finish my coffee, get in the car, go and pick those final bits up, double last check around the workshop, make sure I've got everything, and then get on the way. Nice. Right, so here I am, made it to Hackney and into Johan's flat, just down by the canal. Really nice, like living room and like kitchen space over there. Got a sofa just behind the camera here. So the sideboard is going here, probably until about this section, maybe a little bit further. There's a plug there, so I think it fits on the outside of the plug hopefully. And then a bench seat. Yeah, so the bench seat is about 1.3 meters, and then this is maybe 1.8, so it goes to there. And then there's a doorway going into the outside there. I don't know if I said what the time was, nearly 10 o'clock. So got on everything in, all the tools, all the parts and components are over in the corner there. What I'll probably start doing is putting the cabinets together. So the long cabinet here, that all fits together, have like the Lamello P14 connectors, which are the little Allen key connectors. So I use those to connect all that together, put all the legs on, so use like the Hayfully Axio legs, put those on and get it all kind of in position. Then I have to mark out the back panel. I'll try and film all of this as much as possible. So mark out the 6mm back panel for the cutouts for the plugs, so two like square ones, like 85 by 85mm I think. This TV bracket, I think we're moving that further that way, so when Johan's back later, we'll put that on there as well. But yeah, so most of it is just putting the cabinets together. I'll try and capture that, and then we'll go from there. Just gonna have a little cup of tea. It's a nice sunny day outside. No need to rush, is there? Right, so it's 25 minutes past 10. Got like the main cabinet put together here, and then the other cabinet on the side. That's the bench seat. So this is basically, it's all birch plywood, and then we've edged the front edges so you don't see any of the kind of laminations of the plywood. On some bits, like this is going to have a lid over the top of it, haven't done it on there. It's just kind of all the main showing faces. So there's drawers on this kind of top section here, and then cupboards underneath with adjustable shelves, and then the doors are all flush mounted, and I've got like a push to open system for those, for the bottom ones that need to fit. As you can see, it's gone together quite fast in that way, I think it has anyway. So I use like Lamello, like I think the P14 Climax, I don't know, whichever one it is. So use those on the edges, the Allen key ones, and then the rest of it is either just like a domino, just like a loose tenon joint, just to align it, and a bit of strengthening. Nothing's glued, I don't really screw anything also, just afterwards. But I mean, even it's got a bit of racking like this, but once the back panel's on, that'll be kind of absolutely fine. And then also I'll screw it into the wall just for a bit of security, just in case someone did open all the drawers at one point. You don't want it tipping forward or anything. If anyone climbs on it for any reason, you don't want that as well. So it'd be nice and solid at that point. Yeah. So the next stage is, so I have side panels for each of these, which kind of go flush to the back of the wall, and scribe those in. That's something I kind of struggle with, scribing. But hopefully I've got enough on the panel. I've made them way over the size, so there should be enough space there to kind of compensate if I mess it up the first time. So I've got that. There's a couple of sockets in the corner over here, like a double socket, and then the telephone socket, so it's quite a big cutout, which is fine because again that's going to be hidden. And I might just put one plug in the extension lead into the bottom cabinet, and then there's two square plugs. One of them I think will be in the back of this, so whether I just drill a hole so you can get a screw in, like a 60mm hole might be enough, and then on this side there's the same again, and depending on where it lines up I could drill again a hole because there's a bit of space. There's obviously a skirting board here which is about 25mm, so the cabinet does sit forward of the wall, which kind of leaves like a channel, I guess, for cables and things to go down if they needed to. So it's going to have sides on it, have a top that will go right to the back. So I think the next thing to do is to put the panel on, and then what I'll do is I'll get the laser, level out, and mark on the wall where those sockets are, and get everything kind of situated, and then use that to mark on the back panel for the cutouts. So there's a lot of kind of little steps. I guess at this stage it looks like it's kind of all together, but these bits, like the cutting out, takes me time anyway. Because I just want to make sure it's right, and obviously I've only got one back panel, don't want to be cutting holes this big because I've messed it up. What I've done now is basically put everything where it's going to go right up against the wall, marked on the wall on masking tape, like the edge, like a reference point, so I know where to cut the sockets for. Behind here there's kind of a double socket, I think I mentioned double socket with a BT kind of internet socket above it. So I made this template in the workshop, which I use. It's just like a little bit bigger than a double socket. Unfortunately, I didn't make one for square sockets, which is 2 of these, so it would have made it a lot easier. But anyway, so I've used that. I've just marked that on the side of the cabinet here. There's going to be another panel here, but I'll cut this from the inside. Then I can mark on the kind of filler panel and cut that as well. So then they should line up, and then you have full access to the socket. It did have the doorbell on it. Maybe it would just put an extension lead inside this and have everything kind of running off of that rather than plugging into the socket directly, just because it depends how big. Like a doorbell socket is quite big. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is get this on here, probably clamp it down, use the hole saw to cut most of the material out. Then I go around with the router and like a flush trim bit, just kind of following around the template. This is the way that I kind of find easiest to do it. I'm sure I could have measured everything and done it in the workshop, but then there's always a risk of like the wall does go at a slight angle away from the room, if that makes sense. So it's not perfectly square. Obviously you can allow for like tolerance in these things. It doesn't need to be millimetre perfect around the socket. You're very rarely going to see it, but try to get as close as I can, marking to the walls. So as you can see, got like this, the bench seat all fixed in, so I screwed them into the wall from the inside. I've cut out all the plug sockets, there's one square one here and then they're kind of double, the internet one at the back, that's quite big. Doesn't look great from the inside, but with the lid closed you never know that, which is great. Got all the side panels fixed on, so what I'm doing now is just measuring the one more socket in this unit here, kind of in the third section, just measuring where that needs to be. I can cut that, put the back panel on, cut that, then I can fix that back to the wall and start doing these side sections, which this one needs a bit of scribing in, which you're not really going to see it too much, and then that side, obviously when you're coming in from outside you'll really see it. So that's the one that's going to take the most amount of time, but yeah, hopefully get this done, fix this in. The plinth, I'll put it in on this side. I might need a trim just to touch off. I don't know if it's just lifting the cabinet a little bit, but that looks really good like that. And obviously you've got all the space in here for storage, and then you can kind of just sit on it like that. And there's going to be a dining table going here, which is just off our camera there. It's quite small, kind of like a solid oak dining table. But yeah, it's looking great. So going to crack on and start on this side. back in Hackney today to finish this cabinet off. Only got a few small things to do. Put the drawer fronts on, that just needs a bit of lining up. Did start doing it last night, or kind of towards the end of the day yesterday. And it's not a tricky job, but it's just something, just obviously want to get everything lined up properly. So if you're a bit tired and your focus is going, it's maybe not the kind of thing you want to be doing, for me anyway. So I got the 3 drawer fronts to put on. Just need to maybe realign the doors a little bit, go around. Obviously taken, the Formica comes with a protective film, and when I was making it I put the Formica on first before doing the edge banding, so there's maybe sometimes a touch of a lip there, so just go around with a little sanding block. So I have like some 320 sandpaper just on a kind of homemade sanding block there. Go around with that, just check everything feels nice on all the edges, give it a good clean down. Have like some Osmo cleaning spray, so just go around with that and microfiber cloth. And then we're going to be putting a TV onto the wall. So last night Johan and Susie figured out where they want it. So I think it's going in line with the edge of the unit, so a little bit off centre, but that kind of makes sense with where the sofa is kind of behind us here. So I think I'm going to do that when Johan gets back in a couple of hours. So just figure out where that goes to. It'd probably be in line with where it was before, it's just shifting over a little bit. Right, so I'm just going to get on with doing these drawer fronts. I don't think there's much else to really do. It's just getting the drawer fronts. It's a bit of a cloudy day, so try and get some photos. That's kind of a reason I came back also. Didn't get it done all yesterday because it was getting dark by the time I finished. So yeah, get some photos, get some video, just go from there. Sweet. Right, so all wrapped up now. I'm just going to put the TV on the wall, but basically just give you a little talk through everything. So yeah, probably said it a few times, but Birch Plywood cabinet with Sandstone Formica on the top surface on here, and then on the drawer fronts, the door fronts, and the front of the bench seating, and also on the shelves on the internals. So just like those little touches. It's all edge banded with birch edge banding, so all around the edges, so you don't see any of the edges on any of the kind of faces. You do see it on like the drawer boxes, and obviously like the inside of the bench, but the majority of the time you're not seeing that. So that's just one of the things that Susie and Johan wanted. Got some like little details, like little roundovers on the corners, the radiuses, the same on the bottoms of the uprights. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It looks really neat. It doesn't look as big. Kind of always find that with these things when you get it building in the space, and it feels like it's going a lot towards the door there, but it's kind of it doesn't do that in that way. The seat feels really good. Nice little space like this. Probably going to move the picture up a little bit, but we'll figure that out, as I say, when Johan gets back in a bit. I'm going to put the TV up. So that's going slightly off centre to there, as I said before, just because of where the sofa is. But yeah, it looks really nice in the space. It's nice and clean and doesn't detract too much or clash, I don't think, too much with the floor. And then obviously you've got the bench table there. I'll film some little detail bits and then probably do like a little photo slideshow, as I've done in the other videos, kind of there. So it's 12 o'clock now, so I got here yesterday at about 9, finished about 4:30, and then I would say another 2 hours today. So I don't know what that is, not quite 10 hours. But yeah, probably around 10 hours to install, maybe a little bit less. And then I think in the workshop, maybe, I don't know, say 8 days, 7 or 8 days. And those days are kind of broken up a little bit. So you're doing things like the edge banding, then everything is finished with Osmo, like the raw transparent. So you're doing a layer of that or coating of that probably in the morning. I leave it to dry, and then I'll the next day sand it back with like the 320 grit sandpaper, give it another coat. So all the outside faces have 2 coats, so everything like this that's kind of visible to the sunshine. Maybe like the inside of the drawers probably only had 1 coat, and same with the drawer boxes, but they're hidden away, they're not going to get kind of sun bleached in that way, even though it's a very sunny room. Yeah, I think that makes sense in terms of time. So what I'm going to do now is just take some photos of it, and then I'm kind of done for the day. Going to go get a nice tasty sandwich, and then when Johan comes back we'll put the TV up. So I might film a bit of that. But yeah, probably jump into some images of it maybe. We'll see. Right, cool.